You are watching the Armchair GM Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Looks like we got some fucking chat going on already.
Fubar is absolutely right. Hit the like button right now and share this show with everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody that's on any of your lists, even somebody you've never texted in a decade. I don't give a shit who they are. Send the show, send the link right now.
If there's somebody you want to annoy,
Fubar.
send them the link to the show.
Absolutely. Send it to all your Oiler friends, and you can hashtag FU or whatever you want to put. It's fine by me.
Yeah. The goats. Thanks, Tuck. Welcome in, everybody. So with the Vegas pick, we should target Ryan Rubrick. Interesting. He was like supposed to be top 5, top 10 coming into the season. He's kind of slipped quite a bit. As far as I know, he's supposed to be mid-20s. So yeah, if that's where Vegas ends up picking, like where we end up picking with Vegas's pick, I wouldn't mind taking that stab. He's got some skill, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vegas, Rasmus Anderson just scored.
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
He's
I don't know if you know this, but I turned the jersey around because crest on the front.
About damn time.
And I did the Blasty jersey just to piss you off.
Yeah, well, you know you did that. You're damn right we are. And Mickey.
We are. Is he a center? Hasn't he been playing wing? I know he did play center, but I thought he's been playing wing. I could be wrong on that, though. I do know a tiny little bit about prospects, but I don't know enough to say I'm an expert or anything like that. Fubar. So does Huberdeau continue being a boat anchor, or does he get his get the whatever that is? Yeah, no, the thing is he's always gonna
a monkey off his back.
Oh, the monkey off his back. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't see that. It's text is too small. Honestly, he's never gonna be a $10.5 million player again, and he's just awful this year. It's really, really tough to see. He's awful, but yeah. As for being a boat anchor, I don't think he's a boat anchor because in order to be a boat anchor, you need to have salary cap problems, and that we do not. So I wouldn't call the contract a boat anchor at all, but yeah, Tuck says Rubrick plays wing now, so
I wouldn't say his contract is a boat anchor given our $8.5 million space. Him as a player over the last couple of months has absolutely been a boat anchor.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, I don't know if I call players a boat anchor, but yeah,
he's been a hindrance.
He's been awful, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, he's been really bad, and honestly, everybody just needs to kind of chill out when it comes to the contract. It is what it is. You just got to come to terms with it. It's not going to change. There's 2 signatures on that contract, unfortunately, and we were able to ship one of them out. Maybe at some point we can do the same with number 10. Who knows?
And that guy is busy ruining another franchise. So
yeah, good for him.
Hey, Gambit, thanks for joining, buddy. I'm guessing this is Gambit from Discord. Oh, sorry.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah. Who else would trade Weegar over Whitecloud? Not me.
I mean, as far as actual value at the moment, Whitecloud is definitely the one for sure. So if you're looking for best return, then Whitecloud is the guy. That is kind of where I don't know if it stops there for me. I mean, I'm a huge Uyghur fan. I honestly still think that he is going to be the next captain, barring something drastic throughout the organization. White Cloud has been a beauty, though. His interviews are phenomenal. I'm sure he's great in the locker room, and honestly, his play on the ice has been worthy of extending. To be honest, like he's been really good. Um, not enough for me to decide whether him or Uyghur yet, because Uyghur's got a better body of work with the organization. But
Reason being, White Cloud is younger and younger, steady, and a great guy for Zane to learn from. He's also a great guy to put in the lineup and therefore not have Zane in the lineup. That's why I want to move White Cloud. Uyghur plays both sides. White Cloud does not. White Cloud is a. I love his play. If we were a competitive team, I would be like, keep White Cloud for sure. We're a shit team. We need to play the youth, and White Cloud's just getting in the way of that. Uyghur just plays the other side. That's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you had to make a choice between the two, that part wouldn't. That's irrelevant for playing the kids, right? If you're gonna choose one, there's definitely an argument to be made for both players, I think.
Oh, for sure. And I get
I
the
do.
question because White Cloud has been so good. And I really, again, like, I think he's a great interview. He seems like he's probably pretty great in the locker room. The guys seem to like him. He's awesome on the ice. I love his style of play, but I'd rather keep Uyghur. If I'm choosing one, I'd rather keep Uyghur. I think Uyghur's having a bad year, but I don't think he's going, like, it's not going to be a long-term thing. He's going to bounce back and have another couple good years here, in my opinion.
I agree with that as well. I think Uyghur, this is the anomaly year for him. I think he'll figure it out. I think he started the season in the wrong frame of mind, trying to focus solely on trying to make the Olympic team, and it kind of fucked him. And then right now, I think he's just trying to figure out how to get out of that funk, and I think he will.
I absolutely will.
Who would have thought that bringing in another stay-at-home defenseman would make Kevin Ball the offensive dynamo that he's turned into, sort of.
I like that pairing too, and it's funny because I remember when White Cloud first came in, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, play him with Brestevich or whatever." And I was like, I actually think that a White Cloud Ball shutdown pair would be awesome. And I got kind of ripped apart for that because why would you put both of the shutdown guys on the same line? But in my opinion, it's working pretty good. I like it
because they're playing 24 fucking minutes. So I mean, they're damn near playing half the game. So why not?
Yeah.
So what kind of game do we think Wolf's going to have tonight?
What's that?
What kind of game do we think Wolf's going to have tonight?
He's playing against the California team, so good. He tends to play pretty good against California teams.
True.
And he's just had a game off. He also tends to play pretty good after a break. So hoping for a loss. Fair. I think we're all hoping for a loss, but I think I invited Mike Gold here on the show, but he's at the game, so I don't think he's going to be joining us today. And I was telling him, I'm like, hey man, it's probably going to be a good game because Anaheim's a fun team to watch. They got lots of young talent. They're if you like good hockey, watch Anaheim Ducks, man. It's fun.
Well, that's always been my frustration, or at least the last year or two, is just how old the Flames organization is and how slow we look on the ice.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why I'm looking for trades for picks so we can draft younger and just kind of reboot this and get back to speed and exciting hockey.
Yeah. White Cloud is a culture guy. I understand the appeal for the player, and I get your point on Weeds. Yeah, and I'm not like nothing that I've said or that I will ever say about White Cloud is bad. He seems awesome. He seems good for culture. So is Uyghur. but it's just the fit on the team for a right-handed defenseman is not there, especially considering. I mean, once Perek comes back up, we can't send him to the AHL. We can't send him to the OHL anymore because the OHL trade deadline is passed, so he can't get sent down to the O anymore. So that means Brstevich, who I think has earned a spot and has been pretty good, is going to have to get sent down, and I don't like that at all.
No, it's really unfortunate. Obviously, it stunts the growth of the youth for sure. Brstevich has shown me plenty that he's ready for the NHL, that he is an NHL player and should be in the lineup full time, in my opinion. And when Perek comes back, I think he's going to be the seventh. I guess maybe you will have to make a trade for him to be the seventh too, right? Because we still have Bahal sitting there in that role. So what a shitty situation the management core has gotten us into here. With the needless signings of Bean and Hanley, and it's so frustrating to watch this organization.
Yeah, the need for defensive depth. I kind of get it because I don't think Brstevich was ready to start the season, but now that he is, I think what I don't get is the acquisition of Whitecloud. Like the value of that trade was awesome. I think we got a great value return. The problem is there's no fit for Whitecloud when it comes to developing our youth.
I don't think that's the plan that Greg has on this. I believe he's going to use this as another trade piece. So I don't honestly think that the trade tree is finished when it comes to Anderson. I think there's going to be more that comes from this.
I'm pretty sure you mean the Sven Berchi, was it? Did we trade Berchi for the pick that we picked Anderson with?
You know what? What a great trade that was. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Between Kadri and Coleman, which do we trade? Montreal is kicking tires on both.
Both.
I hope both. I think neither, because this team is not, unless we hear a legitimate source say that Kadri or Coleman has requested a trade, neither of them are going. This organization does not do anything proactively. And even if they get a good offer, they will not trade him or trade either of those guys until their contracts are expiring.
Yeah, there's still one more year on Coleman. It's really unfortunate because Craig really came out guns a-blazing in that first year where we had all the UFAs and did some good work, and then it all just stopped. It was really unfortunate. Like he was making the right moves, he was sending the message and putting the team in a good direction. And I don't know, man. It felt good at the time, and he's just been kicking us in the nuts ever since.
Yeah, I agree.
In reality, he needs to trade both players and just move on. Like, why hold on to players that are not going to be here long term? It just makes no sense. Get rid of them. Let's move on. Let's figure this out.
And the way that things are trending, the pending unrestricted free agents are having their way with Calgary right now.
That was a hell of a post.
That's what I think anyways. It seems like we're not, again, I think we got good value for Anderson, but nobody is signing extensions before or with a trade anymore. So
especially when you're heading to Vegas,
full value, you got to trade guys with term left. You just have to now.
Well, there shouldn't be any reason not to, as it is anyways. We've got $8.5 million worth of cap space, almost nine.
Yeah.
We have the space. We're not going to be picking guys up at the deadline. So let's utilize that space and let's move on. Like,
Yeah.
the 25-26 season is a bust, and honestly, if management can't see that, then we need new management again.
I don't think it's management. I honestly think Craig wants to trade people and Murray doesn't let him. I truly believe that.
Well, then it's Craig's job to fucking pitch it to the owner.
I
That's
agree with
literally
that.
the job of management.
That's
Yeah.
that is very true. So Yegor Sharangovich has played pretty good over the last. Yeah, Sharangovich and Zary have both played very well. I think they've been the Flames' two best forwards for the last 2 weeks or so.
Sharangovich really looks engaged in all ends of the ice right now, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
If,
They need
if
to
he
year
can continue to play
AHL
like
anyways.
this, then
Yes. He probably. I think he starts
Look at
next year
that.
in the AHL. The problem is that he can't. Like he can only play another couple games in the AHL this year.
what a beauty. Well, there's the monkey off his back.
There, let's find that. Find that comment. Where is it?
See? Driving the net. Huberdeau driving the net is a good thing.
So
He's
does Huberdeau
strong.
continue being a board anchor, or does he get the monkey off his back? He got the monkey off his back, and yeah,
Shebang.
like you said, he's driving the net. He's successful since he came to Calgary. He's only been successful playing in front of the net, and hopefully he's realized that now.
Well, I mean, on that play, anyways, he realized it for the majority of last season.
Yeah, and then he stopped doing it this year.
And then forgot it this year, which is weird.
Yeah. Third-party retention is never mentioned, but it should be. I totally agree. Third-party retention is something we should have been taking advantage of over the past few years. Problem is now we only have one retention slot left for this year. So if we plan on retaining on a Kadri or Zary, we can't use any.
Coleman, are you trading Zary already? He's been your favorite player since he came here, and all of a sudden you're just mentioning a trade for Zary.
Didn't I say Kadri and Coleman?
You did say. No, you said Kadri and Zary.
I meant Kadri and Coleman. No, I don't want to trade Zary at all.
Come on, you can say it, man. It's fine. Like, nobody's gonna lynch you. 3/4 of the fan base is kind of on the fence when it comes to Zary, anyways, being a walking Band-Aid most years.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock wood on that one. Because again, he started playing really well, like maybe about a month ago, and he's been like, I think the Flames' best forward, other than maybe Sharangovich over the last 2-3 weeks. He's just been really good.
Yeah, he has been really good. Frost really looked good the other night too, didn't he? That's definitely his best game of the year.
He scored a goal. Anyways, he's been absolutely fucking useless for about 2 months, but
correct. Yeah. I'm not saying Frost is back and he's figured it out, but you gotta give him credit where it's due, because I mean that was a hell of a game by him. At least for the first 20 minutes, for sure, he was on fire.
Absolutely. Kadri retains salary on to max value. Coleman used third-party retention and send out a third-round pick in 27. I see what you mean. I thought you meant us being a third-party, like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know, Fubar, they changed the rules on that. It's too late to do that for this year for Coleman. They changed the rules. I think you have to be on the team for 70 days if it's double retention anyways, but if we single retention doesn't matter, but if it's double retention, you have to be on the team for 70 days, I believe.
What do you mean, like for the year?
If you plan on doing double retention, like let's say we were to trade Kadri somewhere, like they used to do it all the time. Like teams used to do it all the time, where you'd send somebody somewhere, they'd half retain, and then they'd cut the salary in half again and trade them to the final destination. Can't do that anymore without 70 days in between.
What do you mean by 70 days in between? In between
70
what?
Between retentions. Like contracts can't be retained on twice without 70 days in between. 70 in season days, I believe.
So do you mean that because we retained on Anderson, we'd have to wait 70 days, or do you mean 70 days
the same contract
between? Got it.
So, like, if let's say we were to trade, if let's say Kadri wanted to go to Colorado, but they could only afford him at a quarter salary, we couldn't trade him somewhere else, half retained, and then them do another.
Right. Brustevich is a stud.
Let's see this goal again. It's about time. He's been playing so well, man. I know he sat down a couple times recently, but he's been. Nice. I don't think he's deserved to sit down.
I don't either.
I get wanting to get Pahal in, but I don't think Brustevich deserved to sit.
No, I think Hanley's the type of player that should be thought as more of the number 7, right?
I agree.
You know, switch him and Pahal up, and give guys like Hunter more of a chance to stay in the lineup.
Especially since Hunter's the only guy, other than maybe Weegar, on the team who like even resembles a power play quarterback.
Yeah, he's got some creativity back there. Actually, it's been interesting to watch him. I thought it was going to be pretty decent, but he's actually exceeded my expectations already.
Yeah, his first long stint in the NHL here has been really good. I do want to push back on the Joel Hanley thing, just because, I mean, yes, I don't care so much about handedness when it comes to that type of stuff, but the reason that Brustevich is being sat for Pahal is because they're both right-handed. Hanley is not. And I don't care about that, but I know everybody and their fucking grandmother talks about it all the time. So,
no, I get the handedness. I just don't want Hanley on the team in any capacity. So there's that.
Yeah,
I think that was just an absolute waste of $1.75 million.
Coronado is feeling it. He's got a couple of really good opportunities here. It's good to see because he's been a fucking ghost for about a month. Actually, all season. I'm just going to go with all season.
He's got dog shit. Yeah. Like, he's got to figure it out. He's got such promise and ability, and he just, like, even he looks lost.
Yeah.
Nice hit. See?
Who do we trade from this team? There is such a logjam of mid-ass players. I agree. Unfortunately, there's not really many expiring contracts, so like maybe Lomberg. If it were up to me, it would be Derby, Frost, Kadri, Coleman, Hanley, like all of those guys, and probably Whitecloud as well. All of those guys would be being actively shopped if it were up to me, but I don't think they're doing anything like that. I don't think they're actively shopping anybody.
No, they're not. And I mean, I don't know that Frost is going to get as much because he's had just a terrible tenure here as a Flame. Farabee at least gives you that effort every game, and he's not very good, but he's full effort and finds ways to put the puck in the net. I think
Yeah.
he's the type of guy that would fit well on the third line of a contender for a second and a prospect, right?
Yeah, he fits that, not quite as good as Coleman, but Coleman role. Not anywhere near as good as Coleman, but fits the same role, in my opinion. Yes, Gambit, I agree.
Gambit gets it.
Gambit on Discord is funny. All of his messages are about trading everybody and about how far we are from the playoffs and just all of the tank talk. That's like pretty much the only thing he ever talks about. It's kind of funny.
Why don't we have an actual server within the community just called Tank?
We should.
I mean, we got prospects, we got Flames talk, we got game day. Why not just Tank? I think Gambit can just go on for days. and I'm here for it.
I wonder if Craig, when making all of his trades, knew teams are always weak on the right D, and so he stocked his shelves to make the team better in other positions. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. That's if you can get high leverage positions, you do it, right? And I think that's part of the reason he did get White Cloud too. But
so it's kind of the same scenario as a couple of years ago in fantasy there, where Greg was hoarding goalies and then trying to trade goalies. And the reason why all teams are weak on the right hand is because the Flames have been fucking hoarding them for like 5 years.
Fucking Greg. Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah. I just wanted to say something about, like, when you said Craig was doing a really good job when he first started, he did. But the thing is, Lindholm expiring. Zadorov expiring. Toffoli expiring. The only guy that wasn't expiring was Markstrom. And the only reason he traded him is because there was a succession plan. Wolf was ready to go, and Markstrom was being a little bitch and a locker room cancer. That's the only reason he traded them.
Yeah, and no, I get that, and I did say that. I did say that he was that he did really well getting rid of the expiring contracts. So that being said, so why is Lomberg still on the team? Why is Beecher still on the team? Why is Bean still on the team other than the fact he's on IR?
Yeah, I mean, Bean's just going to expire. I have a question for everybody. Is Chris's camera freezing for everybody else, or is that just me? It seems like I can still hear you fine. Your audio is coming through, but your camera is freezing quite often. But that could just be me.
Yeah, somebody let me know. I can restart if my camera is an issue.
Yeah, you need to stop giving the agent all the leverage. I agree with that.
I'm so sick of players having any leverage whatsoever. If they have a clause in their contract, they submit their teams at the beginning of the year, and then that's it. Other than that, why do they have a say at all? I don't give a shit if they plan on signing. That shouldn't even be part of the conversation. Like, they shouldn't even be told, period. I think it's just one of those situations where if you got a list of teams they're allowed to trade, you call those teams, you make the deal, you move on.
I agree.
Grab your bags, you're out. Like, it is, this whole player has all the leverage thing is really pissing me off.
And it's all because they're expiring, right? If he stopped waiting until players were expiring, the player wouldn't have as much leverage, in my opinion.
And the player shouldn't have any leverage. Zero. They have their leverage when they negotiate the clause. Once they submit the terms of the clause, that's the end of their leverage. In my opinion, that's why they have it. Not allowed to go to these teams. Fine. Here's a list of 18 other teams you're allowed to go to.
I just wanted to point out the. I don't know if you heard it. I think your game's probably on mute, but the standing ovation and the huge cheer that Brustevich's goal call got in the building was really good to see.
Nice. Yeah, I do have it on mute. That's what I love about doing our lives during this. I got like $10,000 worth of audio that I can't listen to.
Yeah, I mean, you can put it on a little bit. It's slightly distracting for sure, but Iginla, worst trade ever. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the one thing I will say is, like, we gave him a bunch of leverage, but, like, we still got, first round pick, prospect. Like, it's not like we didn't get good value. We got great value. We just failed in scouting. That whole trade was awful scouting.
And in that scenario, and because of how that went down and how he held out and wouldn't allow the trade to Boston, I was really happy that Boston won the cup that year. That really made me happy, given how that scenario went down.
It made me happy because then Vancouver couldn't win the cup.
I mean, that's another reason. How long has it been since they won the cup? I can't remember.
Well, didn't the Millionaires win a cup?
The who?
Yeah. Well, this is actually pretty turning out to be a fairly exciting game, which is weird considering the Flames never play exciting games. It's been a really, really, really hard watch this year, that's for sure.
There's been a lot of games that have not been worth turning the TV on or going.
Yeah. And yeah, Kiprusoff refusing a trade was pretty bad too, but
yeah. Fuck it, I'll just retire.
Yeah.
Who does that? I mean, yeah. I guess when you're that good, you just do it.
I don't know. Daryl also played him like 70 fucking games a season, so he's probably pretty beat down.
Huska's trying to do that with Wolf right now too.
I'm actually curious now. I'm gonna look it up here. Should be on this one, I think. $38. Yeah, he started 38 out of 47 or whatever. I don't know how many games we played this year, but so yeah, he's played too many, but I think he's on pace for like 60, which is I think that's what you want out of him when we're competitive is 60. But I don't think that there's a need for it now, especially like we've seen that after about 4 or 5 games in a row, he gets tired and doesn't play as well. And I think that they need to look at that and play Cooley every 4th game or 5th, 4th or 5th.
Especially with how good Cooley's been.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, this makes no sense. Like, there's zero reason to do that to Wolf at the moment. A, given our position in the standings. B, how good our backup's been.
Yeah. Kipper had joint injuries for the type of hockey he played in the net. Yeah, I think most goalies have joint problems.
Yeah.
Just remembering watching Kiprusoff play and the way he played, man, like I'm surprised he can walk. I'm surprised a lot of those goalies can walk, especially the really heavy guys. Like, not that I ever really watched Brent Cron play, but like, imagine him going up and down all the time like that. Like, fuck.
That's a lot of mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Fubar, you're right. I take my comment back. Take
The
it back.
Flames are out shooting Anaheim 12-2. What's going on here?
I mean, normally at this point, the Flames are out shooting the opponent 12-2, but we're down 1-0 or 2-0.
Well,
So it's different.
last game we didn't get our first shot in the second period up until like 16 and a half minutes in.
Yeah.
That was sad.
But we almost won.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody who's in the chat, let me know who's your favorite non-Flames player of all time, just for fun. I'm curious.
Favorite non-player. Oof.
Non-Flames player.
Non-Flames, yeah.
Who's yours, Chris?
My favorite non. Scott Stevens.
Oh, I knew you were going to say somebody like that. I was expecting you to say like Niedermeyer or something like that.
Jeez. That's such a hard one.
Mine's Pavel Datsyuk. Fucking amazing player to watch. So much fun to watch.
I was a big fan of Mike Modano when he was in his prime before not.
How do you feel about Mike Babcock?
Like as a player or as a coach?
No, as a coach. As the coach that was like, you know what? I know you're retiring at the end of the year, and I know you're at 1,499 games, so I'm just gonna sit you for that game so you don't reach 1,500. What a fucking cunt!
Yeah, that's ignorant for sure. Fubar says Patrick Waugh, and I know I'm going to take some heat for this, but I suppose maybe one of the reasons is because I met him and he actually is a really nice, really good dude. But Bobby Lou was pretty high on my list of players that I did like. His social media follow is brilliant and funny, and he's just. I feel like he kind of got shafted in a lot of ways in his career.
Yeah, I agree. Bobby Lou and Bieksa, it's kind of funny how some of these ex-Canucks players we used to hate so much are turning into some of our favorite media personalities.
I mean, yeah, Kevin,
I thought you were going to shit on Patrick Waugh, and I was going to tell you that he can't hear you because Stanley Cup rings in his ears or something like that. But.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what about the only knock on Patrick Waugh is maybe he's a little bit overzealous as a coach, but other than that, what's not to like about Patrick Waugh?
Pulling your goalie with like 15 minutes left in the game with you're fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, at least that way, if they score, then it doesn't go against your goalie's save percentage or goals against, right? So he's always thinking about the goalie. That's why he's doing it.
Yeah. Damn. Questionable penalty there on Kuznetsov. Let's see if this gets the Ducks going a little bit, or maybe just a shorthanded rush.
So are you legitimately? Wow, what a hit! You're gonna love this.
Yeah, I'm a few.
Not a Flames player. Not even a Flames player in the shot of the camera.
Oh, yeah, I'm like 20 seconds behind you. Oh, that's funny.
Amazing.
That was a huge one. And again, your sound is off, but the crowd went fucking wild for that. That's the loudest I've heard the crowd all season.
I bet. I mean, I would imagine at least half the people in the Dome remember those lean years against Anaheim, I'll say.
You mean like 14 years of not winning in their barn?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has been going on for many a year. Refs have just been bad across the board for a long, long, long time. You know,
Yeah, it's been bad.
they're either calling penalties that don't exist or not calling penalties that are blatant. It's been it's been bad. You
And
know,
one thing I
other leagues too. NFL has the same issue. Baseball has the same issue. It's just yeah, it just makes no sense to me.
I kind of wish, like, I don't want more long reviews or anything, but I do think that there might be some merit in, like, watch the replay once before you make the call. Like, if it's like a 3-second thing, who cares? Just watch the replay once and then say yes, that's a call, or no, that's not a call, and then keep the game going.
Mm, I don't know. I feel like that would just take away from it.
Maybe
Like you're supposed to allow for a bit of human error, but just constant
it's
human
just
error is just
so bad.
frustrating.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I will say is, and I know, well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Fubar didn't mean it like that, like this. But a lot of people say, "Oh, the refs are always against the Flames, or the refs want the Oilers to win, or the refs are all for the Golden Knights, or whatever." And it's like, if you go to those fan pages and like read comments on those fan pages, they say the same thing about refs about other teams, right? The refs aren't for
They're just,
a
they're
team;
just bad.
they're just bad across the board. It's
Yeah.
and no Weidman. We need to stop fucking talking about Weidman. Do not suffer
Well,
from the
has it been?
Weidman effect anymore. Refs are just bad. That's all it is.
I mean, guys will develop themselves a reputation with the refs, being whiners and whatnot, like a Kadri, where they don't get any sort of grace when it comes to plays. That
Oh
is a thing for sure. Um, but that's player specific, right? Where they're creating that type of mentality when they're constantly, yelling at the refs or whining to the refs, stuff like that. Then the refs they kind of get fed up, and I get that. You're like, you know what, fuck you.
yeah,
Next minor thing you do, you're sitting in the box, and I don't give a shit. What are you going to do about it?
yeah. Like, they definitely try and control the game for sure, but I don't think it's for or against any other team. It's just
Yeah.
across the board bad. Feel bad for him back in the day. No idea where he was, and he ran into the ref. I agree with that because then I don't know if anybody watching remembers, but Dennis Weidman, like, he got rocked by, I think it was Mika Solomaki, or I can't. I think that's who it was, but he got absolutely rocked in the corner. I don't think it was a dirty hit, but his head got crunched, and he was clearly wandering back to the bench without a fucking clue what was going on around him. And did he skate into the ref and hit the ref? Yes. Did he mean to? I do not think so at fucking all.
You gave him a good cross check, and that's all we know.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
good.
think his head was his head wasn't on right at that point. It wasn't him
No,
trying to hurt somebody. It was him not having any idea where he was and just bracing for impact.
I think it was shortly after that they brought in the concussion protocol situation in the buildings, right?
So yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he meant to do that.
No,
I'll be
I
right
don't
back.
think he did either. I think he had one of those situations where he just yeah, everything was a fog. I don't know if you've ever had a concussion, but it's pretty shitty for the first while. Everything's pretty much a haze or a fog for depending on how bad it is, right? Whether it be for a couple hours or a few days. I guess some players have had it for a few months, which sucks. So, what are we thinking about how this game is going so far? I know there's some players that have really fighting against the team tank mentality, which is good because I don't want to have any players that go out and actively want to lose. But the game is actually kind of surprising to me. I think having a team like Anaheim come into our barn who have done some upgrades in their system in the last couple of years, and they're an exciting brand of hockey now. They really got shut down by the Flames, and so somewhat surprising. Flames actually seem like they were the quicker team so far in the first 20. Yeah, I think so. I think so too, Fubar. I'm definitely impressed with what I saw in the first 20 as far as the team goes. And
I
that's been
am.
my thing for the last couple of years. I it's not necessarily that I want them to lose. I'm good with them losing. I just want to see exciting hockey, and I want to see some progression on certain players that are fighting for a mainstay in the NHL. That's my only wish is that we see some development from the young guys, some exciting hockey, and for God's sake, we got to get quicker. So
Yeah, the
I
team
think it
is
was a good effort
very
by the team.
slow.
Yeah, yeah. Boom. I
Just
guess
too slow
Halliday is
to.
probably pretty happy that they do the curved glass on the boards now beside benches. He wouldn't have walked away from that 10 years ago.
Holiday, yeah. That guy's been pretty good for the Sens too. They fucking rolled the night. It was 7-1. I mean, Rasmus scored a goal, which was good for him, but
Mhm.
fucking Aiden Hill maybe wasn't ready to come back. He's been fucking awful so far.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm going to do the same. I'll be right back.
I agree, Fubar. We never promote tanking intentionally. I know a lot of people do. They want the team to tank and purposely be awful. I want the team to be awful for a couple years because of pragmatic decisions made by the um, front office. It sounds so easy and like exactly what their job is because that is what their job is. It's not easy though, and it's not what they do. So it sucks. But what I push back on is Team Tank when they say we need players and coaches that throw. Never, never, ever, ever should we do that, in my opinion. Um, that's how you breed bad culture is by having players who throw games or stop trying, or having a coach that stops trying to win. Your coach and your players should always try and win, and that's why I don't get upset. I mean, I sometimes I'm slightly annoyed when we win, but I don't really get upset because you still need to win sometimes. It just really frustrates me when I hear people talk about Team Tank in that sense because oh, and I think that it's also sometimes kind of a miscommunication. That's why I always say I'm on Team Rebuild, not Team Tank, is because tanking implies that you have players and coaches that want to throw, whereas rebuilding is just to me anyways. That's why I always say rebuilding, team rebuild is because tanking is just it comes with a negative connotation of your players and coaches as opposed to just the front office doing their job. I believe given Conroy's drafting, we could end up with an elite team for years to come. I agree. I think that the Flames have the one thing Conroy's been really good at is drafting. Um, and that's why I'm excited. Like, we're gonna have a whole bunch of later first round picks here coming up, and we're gonna have a few early first round picks coming up, and I think Conroy's gonna knock it out of the park with that. Um, yeah, like getting Matvey Grudin where he got him, and then getting Basha later, even though I'm not huge on Basha. Um, Getting those two guys in the late first, early second was absolute stellar work. Getting Ethan Witten back, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys watch college. I don't, but I know that he's being nominated for the Hobie Baker this year. So I think there's a fan vote. So go vote for Ethan Witten back for the Hobie Baker. That kid is giving off Gaudreau vibes when it comes to his college numbers as a rookie. So it's really exciting to see how well Conroy has done with guys like that and Basha and Redeem and um, just a bunch of guys that he's drafted later. It's been really good to see. Yeah, so few GMs go out scouting youth, and Craig and Eddie both love that, which is awesome to see. Maceo Phillips is a huge young kid we've got as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be an NHL player, but where you draft guys like that, like again, like drafting Witten back in the fifth round, is he going to be an NHLer? Who knows? But um, having a guy that you drafted that late, looking like he could possibly be an NHLer sooner than later, is pretty impressive. Maceo Phillips is a guy who, no, he'd probably play some NHL. It would be nice to see him a little bit more. He actually impressed me in the prospect games this year. I thought his coming in to those prospect games, I thought that, or I had heard that his puck handling was bad and his skating was bad, but I was actually quite impressed by both of those things after he came back or after he played. It was like, I actually think he's got better skating and puck handling than I was told. So he could be something too, right? There's just a whole bunch of players that the Flames drafted later. Um, I'm gonna look up a list of guys that seem like late guys or later picks that look like they could be something. Theo Stocksalius in the second round, he's looking pretty good. Maceo Phillips in the third round, Witten back in the fifth round. That was all last year. All those guys are looking like they could be something possibly. Um, I try and limit expectations on guys like that. I'm not as excited as most people are on Ethan Wittenbach, but um, you know, that's because I've been burnt a lot and I'm not going to put any expectations on him. But having guys with a chance in the second, third, and fifth round, you know, getting Basha and Battaglia last year in the second round and Muse in the third round. Kirill Zarubin, I believe, has ridiculous numbers in Russia. No, Morin and Suniev in the second and third. Axel Hertig even looks like he could become something eventually. I think he's the captain of the Calgary Hitmen now. Um, but just getting guys with a little bit of a chance of becoming an NHLer in the, Hertig in the seventh round, and we've talked about guys in the second, third, and fifth rounds, right? Trevor Hoskin, even some people are pretty excited about him. People are excited about Eric Jameson in the 6th round. Like, not all these guys are going to hit, and in fact, probably most of them will not. But having this much exciting, or this much to talk about when it comes to Flames' later draft picks is just a testament to Craig's biggest strength in that scouting. My thoughts on Abram Weeb. I haven't looked much into him. He strikes me as a player that the Golden Knights couldn't sign and was just kind of like a throw-in to the trade. I know I think he's playing beside somebody. I know he plays with Cole Reshny, I believe, in the University of North Dakota. I think he's their number one, maybe number two defenseman. He's an older prospect, right? Like, he's already 22. I'm not gonna hold my breath on him becoming something, but it would be, if he does, I'm gonna liken him to like a Connor Mackey, a guy who probably comes in and plays, maybe 50 total NHL games. Yeah, he plays with Bearhoff. That's right. Yeah, he plays alongside Bearhoff, who plays on the team with Cole Reshny. Chris, we were talking about Abram Weeb, the prospect, 22 prospect we got in the Vegas deal there.
Right.
I love how much of
I don't think
Ron takes up.
I don't think he's going to amount to much, to be honest.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Abram Weeb there, Fubar? Maybe you watch him more than I do. I certainly don't. I know there's a few guys on the Discord that we talk to all the time that watch University of North Dakota games. I don't, but I know a few of them are, say he's a pretty good player, but maybe not the type of guy who's going to be a full-time NHLer anytime soon. What do we see in Cade Littler and Jaden Lipinski? I think Cade Littler is just kind of a guy. I'm not going to see much from him. Jaden Lipinski, a couple of years ago in I believe it was the Penticton games he played, he actually really impressed me and reminded me a lot of Michael Backlund when it came to just defensive reads and stuff like that. I thought he was very impressive when it came to transitioning the puck after making a good defensive read. I'm not like, it's hard to say with these kids, right? Like, because I don't see them that often, and I'm trying to remember what I saw from a guy in like 2 or 3 games at the very beginning of last year, right? So it's hard to say, but I think Lipinski might end up being like a Dryden Hunt kind of guy, where he's in the minors and up for a few games here and there, and then like this is in like 5 years time, like where he's kind of up and down.
That's unfortunate, right? I was hoping for more from Lipinski, because Dryden Hunt needs to go find a different sport to play.
I don't think he's a bad hockey player. I just think that he's what do they call them? Quad A guys, who is perfect to play on your top line in your AHL team, and then sit in the press box, get called up to sit in the press box and be your 13th forward on a road trip. I think he's just fine for that.
Sure. Seems like a waste of a roster spot myself, but I was always under the impression that you've got guys in the A to develop and and get them ready for the NHL.
Yeah, but you also need vets in the A to teach the kids how to be professionals.
Yeah, I don't think Hunt's that guy.
No,
I don't think he's teaching anybody anything.
fair enough.
I mean, I haven't been impressed with Hunt for, well, since we got him.
There's nothing to be impressed about. He's just no. I think he's again like I think he's a fine guy to play. 5 games a season. Like
Yeah,
I'd rather
for
him
the
sit
first,
in the press box on a road trip than Matt Vigardine come up and sit in the press box for a road trip. You know what I mean?
sure, no,
At
I get
least,
that.
yeah,
I just have never understood why when he was being called up previous to this year, he's immediately thrown on the top line,
yeah. He's.
which made no freaking sense to me whatsoever.
I mean, I think he played with Huberdeau like 3 games, but yeah. Um, I don't think any of those guys who are quad A guys should ever play in your top 6 ever.
Nope. Nope. But that was the opportunity he was given every time he was called up over the last 3 years.
Yeah. All right, let's see if Ducks can make something of this game because the Flames are out shooting them 19-3 right now, which is pretty 20-3, which is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, Quenneville's not going to be happy about this.
He doesn't look very happy. He looks very grumpy.
Kyle, I think you know the answer to that. He's not chill. Um, he's always on edge. He's got red hair, right? He's a ginger, so like he's never chill. He doesn't know what chill means.
I have no idea what chill means. Kyle is of course referring to on the 960 text line at the end of the game. I always text in and tell Pat to tell Kyle to chill, and he does, and it's hilarious because Kyle is notoriously not chill every time we win a game.
Kyle's on Team Tank.
Yes, he is. He is the
Kyle,
tank.
it would appear that Kyle's not going to be chill by the end of this game, unless Anaheim starts getting their shit together.
Agreed. Hey, Kyle, who is and Fubar and everyone else watching, who are your favorite non-Flames player of all time? Who is your favorite non-Flames player of all time? Curious what everybody says here. Chris
I said my
Scott
answers, and then
Stevens.
everybody shut up. Joe Sakic, I can do it.
Joe Sakic, that's a good shout. He's an amazing player. He was an amazing player. Fun to watch. Mine was Datsuk.
Kyle, I said Scott Stevens for obvious reasons.
He's Chris is not a Paul Kariya fan, so there's that.
Wow. way to paint me in the corner, Dylan. Jeez. Yeah. I used to say that all the time. Screw Korea.
So how about that Huberdeau goal? Imagine being in front of the net. Imagine that.
Driving the net and making something happen. It happens more times than it doesn't, I must say. If Huberdeau can get back to being the net front presence and making making that his position, I mean, he would silence all the haters again because he had a really good season last year based upon that type of play.
Yeah.
But and then he got back into perimeter play, trying to pass the puck extremely hard to players that can't receive a pass. So that's weird that didn't work.
And the no look spinorama backhand passes, or even not spinorama, just the no look passes. He started doing that again this year, and it's been incredibly frustrating to watch. Like doing that every once in a while, whatever. But like every game, and it's like directly onto the opponent's stick, like 70% of the time. Just stop it. Stop that. Don't do that.
Knock it off. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Knock it off. There's definitely better ways to make a living. Oh, jeez.
That's a deep question. What would your ideal trade be for this team? Everybody else watching answer this as well. I want to see Coleman go to Dallas. I'd like to see Maverick Bourque come back. I don't know if that'll happen, but I would like to see Maverick Bourque come back. But honestly, like for Coleman, anywhere he goes, if we get a first round pick and nothing else, just pull the trigger. That's
Speaking of pull the trigger,
my ideal trade is I don't care if it's a late first round pick. Ooh, a goal. Nice.
Birdie one too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. As for Kadri, that's a tough one because I really, really, really don't think he's going to be moved. And it's hard for a team to fit $7 million without giving up a shitty player. I see lots of people saying Montreal is a good fit for him, but we'd have to take back Laine, and I have absolutely zero interest, even though he's expiring, zero interest in blocking Coronado with fucking Patrick Laine at all, even for 2 months. So I don't know what a good trade for Kadri is. Again, like pick and prospect, right? Like a first round pick and a prospect. Look at what the Islanders got for Brock Nelson last year. They got a first round pick in Callum Ritchie. That's exactly what I want to see out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's as far as the individual player that comes back, I mean, that's kind of fluid depending on the team. My main focus right now is picks, and anybody 25 or less, as far as prospects go or players, I want prospects. I want picks. I want to give.
I don't want 25-year-old prospects.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. But as far as like actual NHL players coming back, I don't want anybody that's older than 25, unless it's to sweeten it to bring back somebody with a ridiculous contract, right? If we're gonna send out 7, getting 7 in return or 5 in return, fine. I'm fine with that. Even if that player ends up just disappearing at the end of the season.
Yeah.
If it means that we actually get a better pick and or a prospect out of the trade, then so be it.
See,
I'm less concerned with blocking somebody like Coronado right now, because right now nobody's blocking Coronado, and he's been shit all year. So I don't think he's going to figure it out for this year, and even if he does, it's meaningless anyways. But if that's what it takes to get a good return for Anderson, then Laine it is, right?
Yeah.
And then he's the type of player that we could potentially sell the rights to for something minor at the draft.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I think he's
maybe
played, like, he's always injured and he's insanely lazy on the ice. I don't.
Yeah. I don't want him as a player at all. Like that's
I don't
fine, but
I don't mind
if it,
taking a salary back. I'm incredibly worried that Ryan Huska will put him in some sort of spot that blocks whether it's Coronado, who, you know, is he playing well? No. Is he going to, like, is putting another guy in his way going to make him develop better? No. You know what I mean? Um, and I'm incredibly worried that Huska would put a guy like Patrick Laine on power play one on in the top six and boot a couple guys down a little bit. And I don't want, even for a couple months, I don't want that. But
yeah, I'm okay with that scenario if we're able to get that trade done with 2 to 3 weeks before the deadline. Then fine, because then you're just showcasing the player to potentially unload him at the deadline as well. But
yeah, something like that, sure. Like if you have a deal in place or your plan is to trade that player, then yes.
and then you can use it at that time to retain some salary just to send him out, right?
Yeah.
Potentially.
White
And
Cloud. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't think Coleman's contract is hefty enough to really need to retain personally, because I I think he has more value in the trade market than Kadri does, other than the fact that Kadri is a center. But I think in all around play, I think Coleman is a better trade piece.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that. I think that there's a perception around the league that Kadri is this super
Elite.
gritty, all on
Yeah.
the leaves it all on the ice type of guy that he is just not. And if there is a team out there that thinks that, then I would absolutely love to trade with that team. But I mean, the dude's been a ghost for over a month. I don't know. White Cloud home for Lambert via Winnipeg. Yeah, I like
Okay.
I like that idea. I mean, I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it would be Lambert alone, maybe Lambert and a mid pick. I would absolutely do that. Now, here's a question: is Winnipeg, who is in the bottom of the standings,
Yeah.
are they going to want to spend picks on White Cloud or prospects on White Cloud? I don't know about that, but that's the type of deal. I mean, honestly, if somebody came offering a second for White Cloud right now, I would pull the trigger.
I mean, he does still have two more years on his contract after this season, so
Yeah,
potentially he could be part of a quick retool for Winnipeg. Not that I don't know what their direction is at the moment. It's tough to say, but if they're looking to be relevant in a year or two, then potentially that could be a fit.
yeah. So I want to talk about Jan Kuznetsov a little bit here because I've been really impressed with a specific part of his game that I didn't see coming when he got called up. And throughout the past few years, I'm like, yeah, this guy is going to be a pretty good, fifth, sixth shutdown defenseman. He's going to stay at home and he'll be just fine at that. And he's been good at that. But what I was not expecting is the offense. Um, he joins the rush a lot. He he pinches a lot and takes his shot lanes well and doesn't often get caught out of position. Like he'll take those opportunities and get back to his post real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've been really impressed with this kid.
that's always been my biggest argument against joining the rush. Like if you don't have the ability to get back and get back into position, then I don't think you should be doing it. Because we've seen enough players over the years that struggle at getting back. I mean, honestly, Fubar, I think if you can get that return, you have to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want Lorai on the team. I think he's overrated and awful. But if you're getting a first and a prospect for Uyghur, fucking do it.
Yeah.
You got to remember too that Uyghur is, has trade protection, so he he has a little bit of say there. I can't remember exactly what his trade protection is right now, but
Yeah.
he has a
No
little
trade.
bit of
I'm
say in
pulling it
that.
up here.
But if you get an offer like that and it's a team that he was willing to go to, do it. Do it. You know. I mean,
So
again, I think you're going to get more of a return when he bounces back. Not if, when he bounces back next year, but yeah. Boston media's been talking about getting Uyghur. Really, I haven't seen that, but I'm not on X, so I don't really hear all of the rumors. But yeah, that's interesting. That's good to know.
I mean, if they're willing to put up some serious pieces, then I mean, you have to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
We're not in a position to be picking and choosing. I don't think there's any untouchables on this team minus a couple, right? You know, I would say minus like your Perex or Brestevich and Wolf. As far as forwards, I'd say Gradin should be held on to, but other than that, I don't think there's anybody else on this team that should be considered
yeah,
untouchable.
I agree. And the thing is like even the Gradine or whatever, like if you get an offer at the draft for like Gradine and Vegas's pick for a top 10 pick, you think about that, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't think you're doing yourself any favors in this league at all as a manager, as a general manager, if anybody on your team is untouchable. Period. I don't care if it's
yeah.
fucking Connor McDavid. I don't care if it's Nikita Kucherov. I don't care if it's Connor Hellebuck. You listen on everybody. Nobody is untouchable. Now, I don't
Yeah.
think they should trade Wolf or Perek or Green, but if you get a third, like if you get
I think
yeah,
Dylan, you should
if you get a deal
probably
for somebody like that, or like a really good,
Dylan. Yeah, there you go. And it happened organically. Hopefully, he's able to reconnect there with some stable internet. But yeah, I do agree that any player on this team, even if it is the couple of guys that I think that shouldn't be traded, you have to think about any offer that potentially comes your way. Nobody should be untouchable wholeheartedly. Just like anything, everything has a price. So if
yeah,
if if the return is phenomenal, absolutely you have to look at it and
yeah.
potentially pull the trigger on it.
Like in my opinion, even Perek, like if you get an offer that's like you won't, but if you get an offer that's like Leo Carlson or Michael Misa or like a really really good young NHL ready center who's already producing, you think about that, right? You just do.
Yeah. Yeah, and if as a manager, if you're not willing to visit things like that, then you shouldn't be in the position.
I
Right?
agree.
You have to always be willing to listen to offers that potentially can make your team better moving forward.
I don't want to be radio here. I'm not saying we need to trade Perek at all. I think Perek is going to be the future superstar on the blue line. This organization needs. So I'm not saying trade Perek or anything like that. I'm just saying if you're not listening to good deals, you're doing yourself a disservice. Am I fixed? Am I good?
I seem better. You were really lagging
Chop.
there before you got chopped out. Um, Fubar, I don't think that this is something that we should consider like at all. I feel like it bit us in the ass a lot when it came to Monahan, just so we could make room for Kadri. I think at this moment, this team needs to draft with the picks that they have and build this team moving forward. His contract right now has zero hindrance on the future of the team at the moment. I don't think we're in panic mode to unload this contract. We don't have enough um, players with high value or high contracts at the moment to even worry about it.
I agree with that. I've seen a lot of people talking about buying him out just to get him off the books. And the thing is his contract is mostly signing bonus, so you still have to pay that. Um, we wouldn't be saving any money, not that we need to. So really, the only purpose of it would be just to get him off the team.
Right.
Um, and I don't think you look at anything like that or like paying somebody any assets to get him off the team until you have like legitimate like the, until you have enough legitimate prospects and young players that are ready to take those positions. Right now, we have Gradine, full stop, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
am I
If you look
lagging?
at his if you look at his contract after this year, of his 10.5, 9.5 of it is signing bonus. 1 million is his actual base salary for the next 2 years after this, and then he does a 7 million signing, and then a 9.5, and then a 5 million. So, I mean, it really doesn't offer any relief when it comes to buying him out. So here we
Yeah.
go. Here we go. This is what we need.
Oh man, that was a nice shot. The Seneca with two. Interesting.
Yeah,
We need to get into
I'll
the
throw
top
my
four,
hat.
says Tuck. I yeah, I want McKenna or Stenberg, but like if we get Belkets or Lawrence or Bjork or like any of those play like I'm not gonna empty the cupboards to move from 4 to 2. You know, I drafting fourth is fucking great in my opinion. You know, like I'm whatever. I'm not overly worried about if we get first or second. Like, yes, that would be ideal, but it's not absolutely necessary. We just need to
I
get
don't.
into the top 5 of the draft for like 3 years.
Yeah, I don't think the top two players are worth losing a couple of first round picks for myself.
But yeah, that I mean, again, it would be ideal for us to be last in the league and get the first overall pick. You know, if you win the lottery or uh, get the second overall pick and get McKenna or Stenberg, like that would be the most ideal situation. But I don't think it's necessary to draft first or second in a rebuild. I think it's necessary to draft early and often in a rebuild, not specifically just first or second. You there, Chris?
Yeah, so I was just looking up the the draft rankings at the moment.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of rumored that Vancouver potentially might be looking at Verhoff instead of
Yeah, I've seen it.
Stenberg and McKenna?
That's why I brought this up because I had heard or seen people sharing tweets a few times that Vancouver insiders are thinking that they might be looking at Verhoff more than anyone else, which
Yeah,
that would just be super ideal if you know
exactly. Like,
just like Verhoff's going to be a great player. I don't want us to be going after a right hand D. If he is the best player available, if we draft at 5 and he's there, then take him. But like, if you're drafting anywhere in the top 4, top 5, even, there's probably going to be a forward there that's going to be a star player that you don't need to be going after right-handed defensemen. We have Brustevich and Perek and Muse and like guys like that coming up. I'm not over. We don't need to draft right-handed defensemen.
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, this is weird. Your camera's been frozen for like 5 minutes for me.
really.
Yeah, mine's not, but yours is. It could just be in my connection. Oh, that's it. Just fixed itself. Weird. Tylen Lawrence doesn't look all that. Yeah, he also just went from the Q, I believe, to college, and he's an underager in college. Like, I'm not going to judge him on his first 5 games against men. I'm not going to do that yet. I
Yeah,
know he
no,
scored his first
it's
goal the other
unfair.
day. Yeah, he scored his first goal the other day. It was an absolutely beautiful goal, but yeah, it's hard. It's the same thing as I was talking about with McKenna a couple weeks back. Like, a lot of people are really down on Gavin McKenna, and I'm just like, this, he's over a point a game in college as a 17/18-year-old. That's amazing fucking numbers. What are we talking about? Like, why are we saying that? Oh, just because he doesn't have 2 points a game, he's not a star player. This is ridiculous, right? Lawrence is playing against men for the first time in his life, and might not be producing, but he's also a very young player playing against fully grown men who have been playing for their entire lives, right? Like, it's not fair, in my opinion.
No, it's a weird. Wow, jeez, what the hell, Wolf? Get your head in the game.
What happened there? He's looking
That's,
around like Mike Smith. I don't like that. Holy shit.
well,
I
I
lost
mean,
it. I lost
well,
it in the crowd.
right? I mean, he legit might have like that. Just went all over the place.
Yeah. I'm interested to see here it is. The
I mean,
replay.
we're not going to call that a high stick.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Ooh. Let's see.
Ref called it off right away. Actually, now I
Yeah.
see it. Good.
However, it went off Seneca, so I don't know if it would be called off from a high stick if it went off somebody. But the stick was above the crossbar for sure. So be interesting to see what they do
Yeah.
here.
I know what they do there. Should I tell you? Or I can wait 6 more seconds.
Yeah, no, it's no goal. I'm extremely high on McKenna. He is literally Kucherov. I'm not gonna say he's literally Kucherov. That would be fucking crazy. Kucherov, you know, is like one of the top 3 players in the entire world. So I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, he's like if he turns out to be anything like that and we get him,
Can
I'll
you
be
imagine? Could you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine.
I can
I would
too.
probably, I'd probably throw something through my TV that night if they do.
I would seriously consider if we draft if we're sitting there at the draft and we have a pick that somebody else is clearly going to pick Verhoff with, like if we have the 5th overall pick and Verhoff is available, I would consider trading that pick down one spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I do not want us to draft Verhoff at fucking all.
No. The only way that that pick would make sense is if we trade 4 of them before the draft.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
The only way that pick would make sense is if we trade 4 right-handed defensemen between now and the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlikely.
He didn't have the explosiveness in the USHL tuck because he was injured like a lot at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Do we draft Joe Iginla or not? Um, last I checked, he was supposed to be a late second, early third. We have, I know a lot of people want us, or not a lot of people. I've just seen a few people talking about us trying to go after the Ruck twins in that range with the first one with our late first with Vegas's pick, and then the second one with a second or third round pick. I don't really give 2 fucks about getting twins or whatever. I just want the best player available. And if Joe Iginla is available, you know, with our late second or early third round pick, why not take a stab at him? I'm not gonna reach on him because of his name or anything like that. Um,
No.
but it would be a fun story for sure. Like, there's a legit chance that he's just not going to be an NHL player.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, and I get the mindset from Flames fans. I really do when it comes to the name, but you gotta be wary of things like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a big gap between the first 2, Stenberg and McKenna, and the rest of the class. I agree. I think that Stenberg and McKenna are definitely the top 2 and the most talented players. I just wouldn't be upset if we got Lawrence or Belkats or Bjork or someone like that. I like as long as obviously as long as Stenberg and McKenna are gone by the time we draft. Um, I wouldn't mind at all getting any of those players I just mentioned. It would be huge for our rebuild to get any of the forwards projected in the top like 6.
Yeah, and ideally, we're picking in the top 2 this year. I
Ideally,
think
yeah.
it's going to be pretty difficult to catch Vancouver, but ideally, being getting the second overall would be very nice for this organization.
Yeah. Caleb Malholtra is a good shout too. I've heard his stock has been rising a lot. I think he started the season as like a middle of the first round pick, and now people are saying that he could be a top 5 pick. I'm again, if we end up losing the draft lottery and have to like a couple other teams get higher than us and we're drafting 6th or 7th or something, I would absolutely go for Caleb Malholtra. He's I think he's got um, a high floor and maybe a lower ceiling than a bunch of those other guys, but he's got like a second line center floor, but probably doesn't reach like crazy offensive numbers, if you know what I mean. That's projecting a lot, but that's just what I've heard.
Did you just describe Backlund
Um,
or his offensive production?
I think um, I actually just described Cole Rushney.
Dang it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be happy if he ended up being that player.
Yeah.
He sure looked
And
good in
remember,
World
like,
Junior.
if Vancouver gets last in the league, they still have like a 60% chance of not drafting first overall.
Right.
Right? Like the lottery is going to dictate what happens. There's a chance, like look at last year. The Islanders were 11th last in the league. They were 21st in the league, and they drafted first overall. Right? Like, I'm just saying, don't get overly excited if we are second last in the league that we're going to make the second overall pick, because chances are you don't stay where the lottery lands, or where the lottery starts isn't where it's going to end. I don't know how to say that properly. I'm mixing up my words. I'm very tired today. Just have to hope for lottery luck. I think we are due for that. I agree. And it's funny. I don't know if you remember this, Chris, but like a couple of years ago, when they announced the new arena, I predicted that we were going to win a draft lottery in the next couple of years, because
the hockey gods.
No, not the hockey gods, but because the lottery balls, however they end up going where they go, people always used to think that it was rigged, but Edmonton got McDavid right before their building.
That's why I did it in quotes. That's why I did it in quotes.
But I do think, because they do it live now, I think that it's not rigged anymore, just in time for us to get it.
I mean, they've been doing it live for a decade.
No, they've been taping it and then releasing a pre-taped thing.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. But they last year was actually live.
Right.
I believe we fell one spot in both the Tkachuk and Monahan drafts. Yeah. And I still think we came out looking really fucking good in those two drafts. I'm not gonna, but that's what I mean, right? Like, if we drafted third overall in the Tkachuk draft, we probably would have ended up with fucking nose picker guy. What's his name? Jesse Puljujarvi or fucking Ole Ulevi or somebody, right? Like, sometimes drafting sixth and getting Tkachuk is better than drafting third and getting like, you just never know. You just have to draft high and often. You don't need the first or second overall pick.
We did really well when it came to drafting Monahan, and then we swiftly, I guess a few years later, gave him up with a first to accelerate Montreal's rebuild, which they seem to be ahead of schedule and right on track with their timeline, thanks to the fine help of the Calgary Flames, giving them the first and then giving them a player they can also turn around and get a first. Not bad. Well done, Brad. You fucking tool.
I'm curious, guys. What is the purpose of Justin Kirkland? What does he do? Why is he here? I've seen nothing I like out of Justin Kirkland this year, even once.
You mean aside from piss Chris off?
Aside from what, sorry?
Make Chris angry?
Yeah. Yeah. I do like it when things make Chris angry.
Yeah.
New arena wins out. Yeah, that's kind of how it went for a few years. Like, there was a few times where I feel like I was the only one making the connection, but like there was a new building announced for a team, and then that team won the lottery in the next year or two. It happened a few times. So yeah,
What year do you think we're gonna host the All-Star game? 2028 or 2029?
the All-Star game probably 2030.
2030. So we're gonna have it for 3 years. All right.
I think we're going to host the All-Star game in 2030 because that's when all of the stars are going to be at the Olympics again.
Right.
We're just going to get shafted and get an All-Star game with like the best player is going to be like fucking Brendan Gallagher or something. You think we're going to finish with the fifth best odds? I think we're going to finish bottom three. I really do. This team without Anderson is not fucking good at all. I don't know why they're playing as good as they're playing today, but yeah, this team isn't good enough to stay up, to be mid for once. It's nice to see.
Yeah.
We are going to get a first as we have a new arena coming, and Bettman likes stories. Good for the league. Yep. I hope you're right. Lyles moved into a new building and then they won the lottery 2 years later. Yep. That is true. From 21st in the league to first overall pick.
That's a big jump.
And honestly, like, Chris, have you watched that kid play, Matthew Schaefer? Have you watched him at all? He is
not a ton.
I heard a lot of people at the beginning of the season saying, "Oh, this guy's going to get Norris votes in his first few years," and I'm like, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But he's going to get Norris votes in his first couple of years. He's that fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I thought, wasn't Parekh supposed to get some Norris votes this year?
Not with fucking Huska as a coach. Not with Murray Edwards telling Conroy to tell Huska to win games and not develop youth. That's for fucking sure.
I think the minute they signed Joel Hanley was the time you knew that Parekh was not going to be a permanent NHLer.
Joel Hanley is left-handed. He has nothing to do with Parekh. In fact, he was playing with Parekh when Parekh was playing last.
That's true. Jake Bean then
is also left-handed, but
yeah. Is he left?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He is.
But he's also. I mean, neither of those guys are worth having. If would I like to get a 5th round pick out of them? Sure. If they leave for nothing, am I going to be upset? No.
That'd be a nice looking power play, wouldn't it?
That would be something fun.
Oh, with Coronado on the wing.
Yeah, the more I see Coronado play, the more I think he's going to be just a middle 6 guy who is kind of like a power play 2 guy. Like I don't think he's going to be a good NHL player and a consistent NHL player and play lots of games and all that type of stuff. But I just don't think he's like somebody worth hitching your wagon to as the future of your power play or the future of your first line or anything like that. I do not think he's that good.
No, I don't either. I feel like he had the outlier season, and based on the play we've seen of him this year, he'll be somewhere in between the 2 seasons.
Did you see that? And I'm only asking because we're watching PWHL highlights right now. But have you seen that highlight from the PWHL a couple of days ago? Abby, I can't remember what her last name is right now, but she was like coming down the wing and flipped the puck up into the defender's face, and the defender went to like bat it away with their hands, but before the defender got to it, Abby, whatever her last name is, batted the puck down with her stick through the defender's legs, went around the defender, got it, and then passed the puck across for a one-timer goal. It was one of the best plays I've ever seen.
That's interesting. No, it's been aside from what we just watched there, it's been about 8 years since I've seen a highlight from the league there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll send it to you. That was amazing. I was watching. I was out of town having lunch, and they were playing the under 20 World Juniors women's World Juniors, and I was watching. I think it was Finland. I know it was Finland and Canada, and they're fucking skilled. They got lots of skill.
Right.
It's actually quite fun to watch. Also, the Flames just suck to watch, so it could be partially that too.
Yeah. It makes it easier, doesn't it?
Battaglia is another good one to talk about. I think he fits well into like he's in that group of prospects I was talking about earlier. That Conroy knocked out of the park when it comes to drafting. I think he'll probably end up being with the Bashas in like 3 or 4 or 5 years. He'll probably end up being with the Bashas as you know, middle six players on the Flames.
Right.
I think he's got something, but as far as NHL level talent is concerned, I think he's got it. But again, like we don't have any superstar forward talent coming up. Like Gradine, maybe, but that's like a fucking 10% chance. But we have a lot of middle six talent coming up, I think, and Battaglia fits right into that group really well.
Yeah, I was just going to say he just contributes to the log jam in the middle six, essentially.
Yeah.
If only we could package a couple of players for somebody worthy of being top six. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. I think once, kind of to tie this Battaglia thing into another comment from earlier, I think from you as well, when Battaglia and Basha and those guys are ready to go, that's when you start thinking about getting rid of Huberdeau somehow. When you need that spot for a Battaglia or for a Basha or for a Wittenbach or something like that, that's when you think about getting rid of Huberdeau. You don't do that now.
Yeah, that's my thing, right? Like there's no reason to do any sort of buyout or have that conversation when it comes to Huberdeau at the moment, because we have nobody knocking on the door to take minutes away from anybody on the top line. So it just makes no sense. So he's not hindering the development of any players in the organization or in the A.
Yeah. Tuck is pumped for Parekh. He is going to be so good. Yeah, I think he's going to be a really fun player to watch. He's going to be, I think in a couple of years here, he's going to be the only star player other than Wolf on the team. And I'm excited for him. Like, he's getting all sorts of just watching Kadri's temper tantrums. I want to get rid of this guy so fucking much. Yeah. Back to Parekh. Yeah, he's going to be a superstar player for us. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to be a top power play, top line defender for us for 10 years at least.
I can't believe you would say something like that about Kadri. The guy clearly has a lot of heart and he's just full of grit. He's a winner.
Okay, this is better now.
Speaking of beauties, what about Croner?
I was saying at last intermission, the amount of the camera that he takes up and the fact they put him in the middle is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Brendan. Well, they both look pretty tiny in comparison. Obviously, they are. He's just a beauty of a human being, though.
He is.
I love his stories. Yeah,
he's keeping the 960 morning show alive. He's the only reason anybody tunes in.
single-handedly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They lose 50% of the listeners when he's not in that week or whatever.
Yeah.
They lost me a while ago. Is he on there a lot more now than he was?
Trek needs a few more years in the AHL. I know you said this earlier. I mean, I think it wasn't a mistake because we didn't know that the new college rules were coming in. But I think what would have been the most ideal for Zane Parekh would have been if he didn't sign his entry level contract and went to college for a year or two, because those guys, it's ideal for guys with that clearly have the skill and the talent, but need to work on their muscle mass. And I think because there's lots of time to train in the gym, and there's lots of time in between games to work on your game. The schedule is not very taxing, and I think that would have been the most ideal thing. But we can't do that. Parekh is going to play in the NHL this year for the rest of the year when he comes up, but I don't think it's a bad thing at all if he starts next year in the AHL and plays half the year in the AHL or whatever, or even all year in the AHL if that's what he needs. I have absolutely no problem with that. That's how you develop guys, right? Like you give him the opportunity to succeed, and if his best opportunity to succeed is to play top line, top power play AHL minutes, and that's what you fucking do. If you're going to bring him up to play 8 minutes beside Joel Hanley next year, don't do it.
Isn't that the main reason behind the AHL?
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, utilize it if you can, and if you need. If a player is going to benefit from it, you can't stifle that. You have to do it.
You think he will be a consistent 14 goal, 40 assist defender? That's oddly specific. 14 goals, which would be incredible. Correct. And it would be. Honestly, I think that during his prime, 54 points would be his floor during his prime. In his 25 to 30-ish, 32, maybe 25 to 32-year-old seasons, I think that you're looking for a 60 to 70 point player out of Parekh.
Yeah, I would hope, right? We can't call the guy an elite superstar at 54 points.
No.
Because he's not going to be good enough defensively to be that guy. So if he's going to be, fair to mediocre as far as defense goes, then he's going to have to be a 60 to 75 point player in his prime, minimal. Or else, in my opinion, this whole thing is just a wasted experiment.
Yeah.
I'm going to step out for a moment. Be right back.
Go ahead. For all the flack we give Edmonton, we should thank him for a team. The real question is, when does Don Maloney retire?
Okay.
Edwards, not Edmonton.
I'm coming back for this because I want to see what Dylan says on this. When do you think Mahoney Baloney gets shit canned out of the organization?
I'm going to talk about
retires
Edwards first here. I think Edwards, yes, if it weren't for Murray Edwards, we wouldn't have a team in Calgary through, I believe.
Sure.
However, I think he's not a smart hockey person. He's a smart business person, and
He knows how to make money.
Yeah. When does Don Baloney retire? I'll be dead honest. As long as he's not in front of a microphone, I don't give a fuck because he doesn't make any decisions. He is simply there to relay what Murray Edwards tells him to relay. I don't really care. As long as he's not in front of a microphone making absolutely stupid comments, I don't care. Let Conroy talk. Stop letting him talk. And he can continue being the middleman. I don't care. But he should have retired. He should have retired like 25 years ago.
I didn't come back from getting ready to jump out for a smoke break for this. I thought you were going to be animated and fun.
Have you met
for
me
your
before?
for your hatred of Maloney? I figured you would be.
I don't hate Maloney. I hate Maloney being on a microphone because he's an embarrassment of a human being in front of a camera. That's it.
I expected you to give the. I don't hate Maloney. I just hate him on my team. He needs to pack his shit and get the fuck out of Calgary.
Well,
or
he
something
does.
like that.
But so does Edwards. So there's that.
Who's he going to sell to? I'm working really hard to make enough to buy the Flame so he can put this team in the right direction.
Security.
Yeah. There's no end in that. We're not a television network.
Sorry.
I get that all the time. I mean, that would be beauty, right? You imagine?
Yeah. Imagine
you would be
having
invited to the owner's suite
in charge of the Flames that make smart decisions.
And I don't know. I don't know if I could take the heat, Dylan. I'm pretty sensitive most times, especially when I'm online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well. What was Bobby Orr's NHL record? Parekh beats it. That's just your opinion. That is hefty. I highly doubt that. I mean, it's possible, but I highly doubt that. I'm not going to put those kind of expectations on a young player, on any young player. Ever. I'm never going to put those types of expectations on a young player like that. I think Parekh did beat some of Bobby Orr's OHL records, which was fun to see and fun to watch and fun to hear about, that's for sure. But I don't know about beating his NHL records. I know, honestly, like, I think a reasonable expectation for Parekh for his career would be maybe winning a Norris, but mostly just being in the Norris conversation, like, 3 or 4 times. Being the type of guy who is in the Norris conversation a few times throughout his career, that's what you can. I think that's a reasonable expectation for what Parekh will become eventually. And I only say that because the Norris is a joke of a trophy that only counts offense and doesn't really count defense. All right, we're in the third period here. Who is going to score the game-winning goal, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Ooh, that was a nice little short-handed rush by Backlund and Farabee. That almost went. Oh. Ooh, they haven't allowed a power play shot against. That's pretty impressive. There's one. Same Parekh will be in the gym this year with Brent Seabrook, becoming a true number one. That'd be nice. Was Brent Seabrook ever a true number one, though? There's a question for you. I'm pretty sure Duncan Keith was the number one over there. But yeah, I still don't like that we hired anybody from that Blackhawks team, but that's besides the point. From a strictly on ice perspective, Brent Seabrook probably was a good hire. From a yeah, my personal perspective, I don't like that hire. Big money on the Flames. You think the Flames are going to win this one, Kev? Who's going to score the game winner? Yeah, Seabrook was absolutely a great defender. I wasn't trying to disparage him at all. Uh-oh, somebody went down there. Yeah, Brent Seabrook was an awesome defender. I'm not trying to disparage him on the ice or anything like that. And if Zane Prek can become anywhere near as defensively sound as Seabrook was, that would be pretty amazing. I'm not going to say he will because he won't, but that would be pretty crazy. I still haven't found out who broke that. Ooh, that was a dangerous hit. Who blocked that shot? Oh, Kirkland. Oof, right off his kneecap. So here's the thing about Zane. I don't think his defense is nearly as bad. Maybe this will be a fun one to talk with Chris about because I know he. I don't think he agrees with me on this. I don't think his defense is as bad as people say, and I don't think his defensive effort is lacking. I think that his skating is lacking. He is a very creative skater. He's very fun to watch when he's um, dancing on the blue line and dancing through the offensive zone and all that type of stuff. But his speed is not there. Um, he tries hard, I find, at least from what I've seen. He tries hard on defense. He's always trying to get back on defense, but his speed is not there to make it. That's I want to see him get lots of time with Rebecca Johnston, the Flames skating coach, who's kind of helped out guys like Kachuk and stuff in the past. I want to see him get lots of time with her over the summer this year because I think that and just the pure strength are the only two things missing to make him an NHL player. I don't think he lacks defense. I mean, he's never going to be Tristanev, and you don't want him to be like that because you want to play to his strength, which is his offense. But I don't think he's like an awful defensive player. I think that he's not the best, but I don't think he's bad. Can we trade Costco to Costco for a bag of picks? If we could get a bag of picks for Costco, I'd be happy. I'd probably take a hot dog, actually, just straight up Costco hot dog. That's what That's what people like at Costco, right? I don't even know. I haven't been to Costco in a long fucking time. But yeah, there's no need for Justin Kirkland on this team anymore. Like he's was a fun story last year, and now he's still on the team for absolutely no reason. All right, let's see Brstevich go end to end here. Oh no, he passed. He should have just gone end to end. That would have been more fun. Ooh, Huberto. Huberto looking engaged the last couple games. It's nice to see that the healthy scratch, or sorry, the day-to-day injury um, helped him a lot because I do think that ever since he came back from that, he's been more engaged and he's been less. He's been doing the random passes a lot less, the random, spinning backhand passes, and he's just been in front of the net more, and that's all you want from Huberto. Chris sucks. Huberto just drew a penalty. By
Good.
guess what he did? Guess what he did? To draw a penalty.
Rush the net.
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
Good guess.
Good things happen when you rush the net.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have the game on my phone when I was having my cigarette.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. How did this stay out? That like how many whacks can you get when the goalie's down and out and not even in the net?
I would like to answer for myself when you said that I would disagree on the defensive play of Parekh.
Okay, yeah, please
Um,
do.
So my biggest thing, it's not his play at the blue line when we're in the offensive zone, protecting the line and the sidestep and the shooting. His offensive prowess is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is when we're in our zone and he gets lit up constantly. He unfortunately at this time doesn't have the strength to be a defender per se. He has the ability to use a stick, which is fair. He's reasonably good at it. But as far as protecting our goaltender, getting guys out of the slot and anything like that, he's definitely lacking. He needs more. He needs more strength. He needs to get a bit more size on him. Obviously not height, but that's my you know me when it comes to defender. I like defenders that are strong, sturdy, can defend well in front of your own goalie, and that's where my issue is with Parekh. Offensively, he's phenomenal. I get it. And
Nice
there we go.
setup goal there. Full credit to
But
Kadri on that.
But like the fact that Karlsson consistently would win the Norris based on that style of play has always pissed me off.
Yeah, me too.
Is right, and Parekh will
Always been an awful
likely get nominations or votes for that same award based upon the same style of play.
Yeah.
But that's my
so I
that's my
guess
thing
we
when it
kind
comes
of
to
agree
Parekh.
then. Like I talked a little bit more about speed, but I definitely agree with the strength thing, and that's why I thought it would be good if he was able to go to college. But
Mhm.
no, absolutely, it's a strength and speed thing for me. What
Yeah.
bothers me is how often I see people online talking about his lack of defensive effort, because I don't think that he has a lack of defensive effort. I think he
I don't think he has. I don't
has
think he
a
has a lack of
skating
effort.
stride that makes people think he's not working hard. When he is,
Mhm.
when he's skating at his full potential, he's standing up straight, which makes it look like he's not trying. I think he needs to get faster for sure, but I don't think it's that he's not
Mhm.
trying. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, I've never faulted him for his effort. But yeah, I'm the same way. He's not fast enough to get back into the play when he's messing around in the offensive zone. And
Yeah.
so, if he can learn that, like Anderson kind of suffered from that quite a bit as well. But this year he made some serious efforts and he turned that around, right?
Absolutely. And that's like we were talking about this with Jan Kuznetsov of all people earlier, how impressive it is that he's able to he doesn't like go in behind the offensive net like some of these other guys do, but he gets up to the faceoff dot to take shots like quite
Mhm.
often, but he doesn't find himself out of defensive position by the time the puck
Exactly.
is back in the neutral zone. He's already back in position, right? And that's I don't care how often you pinch or you jump up in the play or whatever, as long as you have the skating speed to get back, I'm fine with that.
Well, the skating speed and the vision, right? To understand when you're in trouble and you need to abandon, right, or pull the chute on whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like you need to be wary of what your actual job is on the team, right? If you're a
100%.
defender, you see a play developing in that way, you need to get back and get into position. And
Yeah.
And you're right, Kuznetsov is very good at that. He recognizes the situation, which I really, really, really appreciate of him.
And that's something we talked about for the last couple of years with Anderson, because he was awful at it for the last couple of years. That was one of the things that really was really hard to watch with Anderson for a couple of years. But then this year, he really turned that around and got back to how he was prior to his car accident, well, his scooter accident.
I mean, he was hit by a car, so that makes sense you said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also the same thing I used to say about Shillington too, right? Because he thought he was an offensive dynamo and would find himself behind the net, and then all of a sudden the play's going back into our zone, and he just didn't have the speed or the wherewithal to get back into that play.
Shillington had the speed. It was the wherewithal he missed. He was actually quite a quick player, but it was the wherewithal to know that, like, that's why he played with Tanev, because Tanev was the fixer, and Shillington refused to play defense. This is why I think Whitecloud could be an impact on Parekh. Yes, Whitecloud could be a positive impact on teaching Parekh when to get back and how to get back and all these types of things. It's going to be awful hard if Parech's not in the lineup, though, because Whitecloud is there. It's going to be really hard for him to teach Parekh anything if Parech's not in the lineup, because Whitecloud is. That's my thing with Whitecloud. I don't care. Like, I like Whitecloud as a player, and I agree that if there was room for him, he would be a great guy to keep around for a little bit, but there's no room for him.
I honestly think in order for Parekh to get a legitimate chance to play on this team, we need to ship out 2, potentially 3 players.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think that he's like D number 9 at this phase.
Parekh?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know that this coach is going to do everything in his power to not play him. So,
I mean, I would like for him to fight and warrant a chance for the coach to play him. I understand what you're saying. He's not really given a chance.
And I agree with that.
He's also not earning his own chance.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. Although, from what I gather, he's been pretty good in the last couple AHL games he's played. So hopefully he can continue that trend while he's still in the AHL for a couple more games, and then can bring that kind of swagger. Bring that kind of swagger to the NHL. Gradin is a fun player to watch, man. I like Gradin a lot.
He is. I really like his two-way game.
Yeah.
He's very responsible in both ends, or all 3 ends.
I agree with this. I want the right veterans to bring the best out of the youth. And I agree with that. And that's like it's hard to have that if there's no room for the youth. And that's what's going on with Parekh right now. I almost guarantee, if there's no trades made by the time Parekh comes back, Brzustevich is going to go down. And he shouldn't, because he has earned his spot. Whether Parekh has or not, we can't put Parekh anywhere else but the NHL. So that's where he has to be. Brzustevich is waiver exempt, so that's why he's going to get sent down, and that's awful, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really sucks for Hunter, for sure, because given that situation, he's earned the right to stay up here in my opinion, and I would imagine in most people's opinion. But you're right, Fubar. I mean, the right veterans is exactly the goal, right? Like we can't roll into the next couple of seasons with just children, right? The young guns era was dog shit, and we know it. We still need that mix of veterans, and you want to make sure you got the right ones to teach them how to play the right way, which is what makes it difficult to say that Coleman should be one of the guys to exit the team, because he would bring a good return, and he would make an excellent player for any team trying to contend for the puck. But as far as having veterans to teach players how to play the right way, Coleman's that guy that I would like on my team as well.
100%.
So it's kind of shitty, right? Because that's that scenario. You want the best return you can possibly get to move the team forward, but at the same time, you have to think of potentials for veterans to stick around and teach the guys how to play the right way, and teach them how to be full-time NHLers.
I'll be dead honest. For me, ideally, we'd move off of Kadri and Farabee and Frost and just talking forwards here. Move off of those three, and ideally, next July, extend Coleman for 2 years.
Jesus Christ. What just
for
happened?
2 years. But I don't think
I'm not
Coleman
on that
will
train.
extend. Because I'm saying that because I want a guy like that specifically. If there's very few veterans on the team, I would love him to be the one, like one of the few, right? But
Yeah, and that's
I
fair.
see him extending for only 2 years, and he's going to bring a big return, so it's time for him to go.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a take. I do 100% agree that I would like him to be the guy that helps out this organization. I just don't know that we should be extending him till he's 37, because I don't think we'll get much of a return after the first year of his extension, based upon the 2 year that you're suggesting.
No, we probably won't. But also, like, yes, I want to get as much value as possible out of these guys and all that type of stuff. But like, if you're taking a guy like Coleman as a leader on your team, and if he's the guy who's going to lead your young guys and help develop your young guys, if he retires with the Flames, that's fine.
Yeah. I suppose that depends on what kind of conversation that they're having with him as well, because you got to remember at that same time, they also have, Backlund for the next 2 years after this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and again, that's one of the reasons why I think it's time for Coleman to go. Like, I love Coleman. Like Fubar is saying, I would trade Kadri before Coleman. I would trade Kadri before literally every player on the team. I would have traded Kadri before I traded Anderson. I would have traded Kadri before I would have traded Lindholm. I fucking hate Kadri's game. Get him the fuck off my team.
And I do agree with you that Farabee and Frost should be on the block. I mean, I don't think we're going to get much for either one of them, and that's kind of my thought when it comes to the Coleman at the moment. Just because we're just trying to accumulate really good picks right now, but yeah, Farabee and Frost need to exit the organization in some capacity, and if we can get a second in a prospect, or a late first in a prospect, that sort of thing, great.
I think Coleman, if you get an offer of just a late first, you take it. He's a third liner. You know what I mean? I love Coleman, but he's a third liner. You get a first round pick out of a third liner, you take it and you fucking run.
I still think that at the very least you get a second and a decent prospect out of Coleman. I think he still has a lot of value, just given the style of play, his PK prowess, because he's really, 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 really fucking good at it. And his leadership and just how much he just goes all in for his team, no matter where he's playing. He's a team guy, and most managers know that of him. Like I think, I think as far as like, and I do understand what you're saying. Most teams are, or at least as far as the media is concerned, Kadri's like the greatest asset right now, or one of the greatest assets when it comes to trades right now, which is just mind blowing to me. I don't understand why Coleman doesn't get more of that same type of praise, because I would take 15 Colemans on my team long before one Kadri.
15? You know, there's 12 forwards on the team, right?
He can play defense. Have you seen the man in his own zone?
Yes. No, I was just making sure that you were taking that into consideration. Yeah.
No, we still need to put up a couple of pairings in the defense. So he absolutely will play that.
If that is what you want to do, you want to put Coleman on defense. So are you also on this team of people that I keep seeing talk about putting Parekh on the wing?
No. If putting Coleman on defense helps ship out Kadri, he can play the left or the right side. I don't give a shit which side. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know why putting him on defense would help get rid of Kadri, but okay.
You never know. The NHL is weird. They make weird decisions. Managers are dumb as hell.
Completely off the rails.
Right? I mean, I can't believe that Tree Living hasn't traded for Kadri yet. Like how is he not traded for him
appreciate
yet?
having a defensive defenseman in front of him. Yeah, he sure will.
Who doesn't?
I don't know if you've noticed, but Whitecloud is actually on the ice. So,
is he?
No.
Like I don't know, man. I don't see him.
Oh, there's a goal.
Nice. There's Hanley lacking in his skating ability to get back into the play. Old man Hanley. So you're saying there's a chance, eh, Fubar? You're saying there's a chance. All right. How much are we throwing down here for Ducks in regulation? For plays like that, I feel like the odds are good.
Whitecloud's played 20 minutes tonight.
I would much rather keep Ball over Hanley.
I would as well. Again, the problem being Braden Pahal is a right-handed defenseman.
Right. I mean, that's not a problem for me. That's only a problem for Parekh.
And Brstevich, because the 2 times that Brstevich has been sat down is because they wanted to play Pahal. Even
do you honestly think that if management and coaching sat down with Braden and said, "Hey, We need you to
Play the
step
left.
up and be on the left side. Do you think he would
Yeah,
say
he
no
would.
to that?
No,
I don't
I
think he would.
don't.
He's a team
I don't
guy.
think so at all.
We
I
just need
think
more of these tough Saskatchewan players. Just ask Robin Regier.
he's from Brazil.
Right. It's
Brazil,
not what his
right?
billet said.
Yeah, I'm a huge I like Braden Pahal. I wish he played more. I think the problem is the problem with this team right now is there's just a glut of guys who should be sixth defensemen, or seventh, and they want to play those guys every so often, and when they do, they have to sit down another guy. It sucks, but that's why we need to trade White Cloud. That's why we need to trade Pahal or Hanley or whoever. We need to trade some guys to open up some spots to play guys consistently.
Right.
Pahal is like Stone, except for Stone came in after not playing several games and played really well, and Pahal kind of was not very good the last couple times he came in. In fact, he just wasn't good the last couple times he came in my opinion.
Yeah.
He laid a pretty nice hit last game, was it? I believe. That's for sure. He's fun to watch when he's playing. He lays good hits, man. He's entertaining to watch. I like
He's
Pahal.
entertaining to watch. Like, as far as, I mean, he's another stay-at-home guy. You know, you're not going to expect much from him on the score sheet other than, hits and penalties.
Yeah.
And he'll stick up for anybody on the team as well.
Is that on him or the team playing like dog water? That is on. I mean, you can play well when the team. You can play well when the team plays bad. That is a possibility. Um, is it partially on the team? Yes. Is it on him? Yes. It's on both.
I think some of what's happening too is like Hanley has not looked good in the last 2-3 weeks, like all of January.
Yeah. Yep.
So you kind of run into a bit of a situation where you're trying to overcompensate for somebody that's lacking. But I mean, not going to excuse, like, he hasn't been great, but he's laid a couple of really nice hits. He's made his presence known every time he's got a chance to play. Here we go. Oh, Uyghur, way to get back. Look at this. Look at this guy with his 110% effort. What a guy. Jesus, that was a weird bounce. And Huberdeau with
No,
his
you're saying
Empress.
something happened, but I'm not seeing anything happening.
What's the time on the clock for you?
4:08.
Okay, so then we're at the same time. So when I said it, it had happened.
Oh, okay.
It had just happened. It's funny how
Sharangovich
we
has
watch
been
the
protecting
same.
the puck well, which is weird because his biggest flaw, other than effort, sometimes is honestly, which is weird, is puck handling. I find he's not a very good puck handler, but he's been protecting the puck really well the last 10 games or
Couple of
so.
weeks. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, he's been a different player this whole month. really.
Trade Huberdeau, Hanley, Sharkey, Frost, Farabee, and Popsicle. I agree with all of those things except for Huberdeau, because at this point, Huberdeau is going to cost you a first round pick to get rid of. And I have no interest in giving away picks for no reason. I'm awfully fucking sick of our team doing that.
What Dylan means to say is if there's a an offer that comes in for Huberdeau, you take it.
As long as there's
It's
value,
unlikely.
as long as you're not paying for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's unlikely. Yeah, like obviously if you have to give extra things just to make it happen, then no, I guess.
But I highly doubt. I heard a while ago that Boston, I think, was looking at Huberdeau. I didn't understand it. I don't think that was real.
Is that a report from that Murphy guy again?
No, it was somebody else I'd never heard of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
however,
honestly,
it would be nice. And I don't think Pospisil needs to be on this team anymore. I've been saying it for a while. He's just another low offensive upside penalty magnet just guy. Like, he doesn't have anything special. He is going to get knocked out and taken out permanently sooner than later. Like, I have no reason to have him on the team. So yeah, trade him, trade Farabee, trade Frost, trade Sharkey if you can. Absolutely. Like, if you can trade all these guys and get a return for them, do it. Fuck yeah.
All right, just more players added to the not protected list on the Calgary Flames, right? If you can get value for any of them, you pull the trigger.
However, they're all protected. Or let me look at that list again. I think they're all protected because they have term left, and the Flames will always not trade their guys who have term.
Yeah, the Flames need to understand that just because they're under.
Sorry, go ahead.
The Flames need to understand that just because they have term on a contract doesn't mean they have to be there for the entirety of it.
No, I totally agree.
That's not how sports contracts are. Maybe that's what the issue is Murray Edwards does contracts for his staff and wants to make sure they're there for maximum value in return for him. Maybe that's what the issue's always been, is nobody's told him that sports doesn't work that way.
Absolutely. Is there a possibility that Huberdeau could retire and cancel his contract? What is he, 32, 33? That's not happening. Like, I think that could happen maybe in like 3 years when the contract's almost over. But as much shit as we give him, I think he's a proud person, and I don't think he's going to eat it like that. You know what I mean? I think he truly wants to be better. I do. I just don't think it's going to happen, but I think he's going to try as much as he can. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I'd be ashamed to take a contract for 10.5 and not perform. I would resign. I would certainly take a $10.5 million a year contract, and I would continue playing because I want $10.5 million the next year too, and the year after that, and the year after that. So
right around up until 2031.
What's that?
All the way to 2031.
Yeah, so that's 5 more years. That's 50 $52 million, something like that. $52.5 million. Like, he's not walking away from $52.5 million.
No,
Sorry, but
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a very proud person. And if I was able to somehow swing $80 million on a contract that I still get paid whether I perform or not, I'm not walking away from that. That's not
yeah,
that's not going to happen.
yeah. Now, I would be trying my damnedest to get better, and I
Sure.
do. Like, I think Huberdeau is like, I don't think he's. I think he's just lost it. I don't think he's not trying or anything like that. I
He
just,
was just
yeah,
he was just destined to fail in this system, right? There was
yeah,
nothing in the Calgary system that would benefit Huberdeau's game,
yeah.
no matter who the coach was, right? Because he's played under a couple now.
Ubar, I truly doubt you would walk away from $52.5 million. I truly, as much as you say that, I truly don't think so.
I wouldn't steal the money, but if I had a contract for the money, I would. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's two signatures on that contract. So if we're going to force him into retirement, then the other signature on there should also need to be forced into retirement.
Who's our embarrassing Backlund, Sharangovich, and Uyghur? Actually, maybe not Uyghur, but the other two, yeah, that's okay.
Like why wouldn't you put Brstevich into this role right now?
I would 100%
He's
do
already
that.
scored a goal. He's dynamic offensively. He is obviously at times struggles defensively, but I don't have any issues with him being on the ice in this scenario.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to have Backlund out there too, right? Because you got somebody that's going to cover for you, in the
Yeah.
off chance that something bad happens,
Oh,
and then right, and then that.
man, like,
Shark
Uyghur's
is,
so lucky that puck ended where it ended. Like, he
yeah,
is just so bad this year. It like
yeah,
every decision he makes is bad this year.
which is weird, really weird, right? Because he's way better than what's happening.
Did I say I'd have no shame? I said I would take $52.5 million. I wouldn't walk away from $52.5 million, and I would certainly try to live up to it as much as I can. But like, what can you do, man? Like, Huberdeau's not just going to retire and walk away from $52.5 million. He's already
I don't think anybody in the
guaranteed that
history of
money unless he retires. Why would he do that? It just seems completely silly.
I don't think anybody's done that in the history of sport.
Guys retire for different reasons, but not living up to their expectations on their contract when they're still in their prime is not really one.
No.
All right, let's hope. Like, I agree. Like, I don't understand why. I know Uyghur's your horse and all of this stuff, but like, just play Krustevich on overtime. Like, he scored a goal today. He's probably feeling it. He's by far your most um, creative defenseman. And
Yeah.
it's not like he lacks defensive effort. Like, I'd be starting him. I wouldn't be starting Uyghur. I've not even. I don't even know. if my goal was to win the game, I don't even know if I would play Uyghur in overtime at all. No, that was a close.
Coronado
opportunity.
used to be fast. Remember how fast he was last year? We talked about it a few times. He's lost a lot of speed this year.
He's lost his speed and his knack for shooting. I mean, he scored today, but he's kind of lost his knack for shooting as well. Like he has gotten a lot of beautiful opportunities, but he like waits until somebody gets in the way of the shot. Oh, Beckett Stanicky again? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Not bad. There better be some hats on the ice. Here's one. Good.
Good job. Well, that might have been the most fun game I've watched out of the Flames all year. That was actually a fairly entertaining game for once.
Which is weird. I thought it would be really fast from Anaheim, but they didn't start pushing it and coming on until maybe 10 minutes left in the third.
Fubar, like
It was
you keep saying trade Uyghur, but like, why are you trading an asset at the very bottom of its value? Like, you're when you were rebuilding or rebiggling or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you're trying to maximize assets. Uyghur is worth fuck all right now. He's been awful this year. Like, you got to build him back up. Hi, Matt. Thanks for
God
joining.
damn it,
late,
Matt. Where
but,
you been? Yeah, that's the
Matt,
issue when it comes to Uyghur right now, is that he's not worth much at all. So there's really no point in doing it.
Yeah.
If you can get a really good return out of White Cloud, then you have to do it.
Matt,
Well, the team
and everybody else,
teams are
make sure
not
you hit
high
the
on.
notification bell on YouTube, because this happens often. Somebody comes in late and says, "Oh, damn, I didn't know it was on." But make sure you hit the notification bell on YouTube, so at least you know when we're on. Like we always share. I guess I forgot to share on Reddit today, but I always share it on Facebook and usually on Reddit. Chris always shares it on X. Like, but that doesn't mean you're going to see it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe this to be true at all.
Yeah,
Uyghur hasn't garnered much. Like he wasn't even able to get himself into the conversation for Team Canada, let alone on the team. Right? That was his main focus for the season, and it clearly messed up his game this year. He was trying to be too creative and too flashy at the beginning, and lost all of what made Uyghur great over the last couple of years. I honestly don't think teams are high on Uyghur in any way.
Yeah, me neither. You're trying to maximize your assets, and so trading somebody who's not worth anything is not really a good way of doing that. I also believe Uyghur is a culture guy, and I believe he's going to bounce back. In fact, I would bet money that he is going to bounce back next year.
He's also one of those leaders that we're talking about, similar to Coleman, that has done really well with pairing with the youth and getting the best out of those guys as well.
Yeah. Why would it take 3 shifts to get Coronado on an OT? He scored today, but Coronado has been fucking awful for months. That's why. Huska is in question. Is he? I mean, I'm not sure about that. I think he's doing exactly what his boss is telling him to do.
He's in question for me, but and Dylan, but
yeah, I don't think he's in question for It'd be
management.
interesting to see what happens if, when, like, Pat Steinberg keeps saying this on the radio, that he thinks sometime soon the mandate is going to change from try your best to win to, like, get these kids playing. He keeps saying that that's going to happen soon. And it'll be really interesting to see how Huska, who we have to remember, when he got promoted, when he got the job, one of his calling cards was development. He was one of the reasons Rasmus Anderson turned into an NHL player, right? So it'll be interesting to see how Ryan Huska does with the mandate, if this happens, with the mandate of play the kids. I'd be very interested to see how that works out before I
mean,
call it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear that mandate is not in place.
No, it's not yet. And again, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be. I'm just telling you what I've heard from Steinberg. So Weegar's contract is a nightmare. Nobody would touch it. I mean, I don't know if it's a nightmare. I don't think anybody would touch it if he hasn't bounced back. He's been too bad this year, and if teams think that he's not gonna bounce back, then nobody's gonna take it. But if they see that he has bounced back next year, they will take it.
Yeah, that's another one, right? Because he's 32 years old as well, and his contract goes until 2031, just like Huberdeau. And 6.25 can be a hard pill to swallow. When you're looking at the 25-26 season, for sure, because obviously it's been not money well spent.
Yeah,
I'm of the mindset that he's better than what this contract is, and better than what he has been this year, and will rebound again next year.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Fubar. It's great to have you in here. It's always, you bring lots of conversation in, and we love that. So
yeah, 100%.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
And Matt Coronato was, so he's been bad all season. Like, all season he's been bad, but he was good today. And what I said about Brustevich was really good today, and he scored. Coronato was good today, and he scored. So I kind of agree with you. They probably should have started Coronato and Brustevich, but I'm not going to be mad that they didn't, because I'm kind of chuffed that they choked, that they that they started Weegar, because he's just been bad. But Backlund's been really good for a couple months now, and Sharangovich has been good for about a month now. So start those guys. I whatever. I'm not going to be mad about it. Would I have started him? Maybe, but whatever.
And that goes against everything that we truly believe should be happening right now, and that's dropping in standings by a couple of points here, but not going to go there.
Yeah.
Fubar, whereabouts in the Caribbean? I know it's not quite there, but I'll be in Belize in June, I believe. So maybe you can hop over and have a pint in the sports bar.
For sure. That would be fun. If I ever go to the Caribbean, I'll be sure to hit you up.
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool.
Yeah, I got to get out of here though. I will see you guys later.
I'm the same.
Make sure you like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Tell your friends. Matt, hit the damn notification bell. And talk to you later.
Yeah, that's on you, Matt. Cheers. Go Flames. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been fun.